So, um, we did a I did a video, um, somewhat breakdown, of the Iowa non-conference schedule. So check that out if you haven't, at your leisure or whenever get a moment. But I want to recap. I want to talk a little bit about, just a quick recap on the schedule. A few things that stand out. An article that I wanted to talk about, regarding the schedule, and let's go ahead and talk about it real quick. So, um, here's three things, right? And we're going to discuss it, and I'll let you guys know if I agree with this or not. It's three takeaways. How can I get this off my screen? Hold on. Anyway, it won't go away, but let's go ahead and go around this anyway. So, three takeaways from the Hawkeyes 2024, conference schedule, and we're gonna talk about, will I agree with these three things, and just kind of have a conversation with it. So, for starters, um, several chances for the Hawkeyes to make early statements without getting overwhelmed. And why would the Iowa Hawkeyes get overwhelmed? You might say. Well, I mean, obviously, you look at the departures of a superstar like Caitlin Clark. You look at the departures of a Kate Martin. That you have to say goodbye to those two. You got to say goodbye to Caitlin. You say goodbye to Kate. You also got to say goodbye to Gabby Marshall, um, Molly Davis, Sharon Goodman. So it's tough, because it's like you're not starting completely all over, because you still have Hannah Stokey, Sydney Folter, you still have Taylor McCabe, you still got Kylie Furback, you got players like that, so you're not starting completely over, but what you are doing is you are about to play a brand new season with a new head coach that, even though she's familiar with this Iowa Hawkeyes team program, and how the way things are run, you still, it's like you got to do a retool, you got to do a soft reset. So with this soft reset, you don't want your schedule to be too complicated. You don't want your non-conference schedule to be too heavy, too hard, but you do want to be tested. And I think this is a great job of the team being able to get tested without having to play too many juggernaut teams, because that would just be overwhelming. Kind of like the article said, several chances for the Hawkeyes to make early statements without getting overwhelmed. And so when we look at it, and I also got a video where I talked about the three matchups I'm looking forward to us playing the most, which is Virginia Tech, Tennessee, and Iowa State. But when you look at this gives us a chance to just kind of get our feet wet, kind of get players that can get acclimated to the game that don't play much. I mean, you get the one exhibition game to start, and I think that's against Missouri Western, if I'm not correct. But I like the possibility that we don't have to play too many top teams, because this is a transitional year. Make no mistake about it for Iowa. Like this. This could be a year where we could sneak some teams, where we could be really competitive. But I don't expect us to go out there and be running away with any kind of trophies or anything like that. But I do expect, and I know the coach expects, maximum effort from these players. I know Coach Jan Jensen, Jan with the plan, she expects these players to get after it. And if nothing else, take some pride in your game. We know that the team going to miss Caitlin Clark. We know this team is going to miss, players like Kate Martin, players like Caitlin Clark. You can't replace that. You can only hope that you will be able to incorporate unselfish basketball between players like Lucy Olsen, Hannah Stokey, who else? Who's on this? Sydney Folter. You just want to be able to come out there and play some good basketball, because a lot of people got us already written off. So, case in point, Iowa plays Virginia Tech and Tennessee. Virginia Tech and Tennessee were great last year. I'm looking forward to watching these two games because you're about to see all three of these teams are going to look completely different. And in fact, here's something else that I really didn't know until I just thought about it. Iowa's got a new head coach. Virginia Tech's got a new head coach. And Tennessee got a new head coach. What's going on, chat? What's going on? Levi go crazy. Maddox, what's going on? Just recapping these I did a video on it, the conference schedule, and I guess I want to ask myself, do I agree with the fact that the Hawkeyes will not get overwhelmed? Because these are three keys to the non-conference schedule. And I agree, because if you look at the schedule, there's no USCs here. There's no South Carolinas here. There's no UCLA's here. There are no there's no Notre Dame's here. Top teams, top-notch teams. There's no Texas. Because I think if you play these teams, there's not even a LSU matchup, which I kind of wanted. I kind of wanted that rivalry to keep going, even though Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have moved on to the pros. I wanted that rivalry to keep going. But what I should have did was I should have been talking about it, because sometimes you could talk about things and you could talk them into existence if you keep talking about it. So it's something I should have been, mentioning a whole lot, because I don't know if you guys would agree, that would have been an interesting rivalry, no matter who's wearing the jersey, to be able to play LSU annually and, of course, keep all the stupidity out of the way, because, there's some people who LSU versus Iowa, who I will admit, I got wrapped up into it at one point. But now, it's simply about basketball. And it's always been about hoops. But I just want to see the rivalry keep going. And unfortunately, it will not resume this season. Now, interestingly enough, I do have Iowa squeaking by Virginia Tech, who lose Georgia Amore and Elizabeth Hitley. But as I told you guys in the video, I said be on the lookout for Karis Baker. She perhaps could be something. Tennessee, I'm not sure who they have coming in. I'm not going to hold you guys, and I'm definitely not going to tell any lies or fib. I don't know who Tennessee has coming in. I could take a look at their roster, but I know they got a new head coach from Marshall named Kim Caldwell, and Kim Caldwell took Marshall on a historic ride last season. I want to say, that was like the first time Marshall had made the NCAA tournament since like 1990 or something. Some crazy year. But this schedule is fitting. Now we also have a test against Iowa State, and so that's the Audie Crooks and Addie Brown and those girls. But that's December 11th, and that's in Iowa. And by the time December 11th rolls around, there should be some chemistry really in place with this Iowa team. Again, to talk about Iowa. With the departure of Caitlin Clark, to some people might not seem sexy, but when you're a fan of the team, you're going to talk about your team regardless. And so that's what we're going to do. And I would hope that this is how people would rock if they say that they loyal to their teams, that no matter who's putting on a jersey, no matter who's slipping on the shoes, if it's your team, you're going to rock with them, whether they're about to have a historic season and win a national title, or whether they're a team that gets to the NIT. So, if you really rock with your squad, salute. Okay, so next question, Jan Jensen's first head coach trip to her alma mater could be an instant springboard. I don't know what they mean by that. So let's see. What are they talking about? Jan Jensen, November trek to Des Moines, Iowa's only true road game in the non-conference. Second is 3 straight Sundays Iowa will play before the Hawkeyes head to Mexico for the Cancun Challenge. Iowa has owned its in-state rivals of late and isn't playing on the challenge. Are they talking about Drake? Are they talking about the Drake? Yeah, I think they are talking about Drake. But I still don't know what they're diving at. Okay, I'll come back to that one maybe. How the Hawkeyes close December will be a key moment in a long season. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you look at the fact that non-conference play will wrap up. Um, Great thing for this team would be if they could. For me personally, if they could, and I'm gonna show y'all the schedule right here. Name an NBA player, no tons. Anthony Edwards. I mean, you talking about? You said name an NBA player. Paulo Banchero. What's that about? But let's flip the camera real quick because December would definitely be key here. Um, let's look at the schedule, y'all. I think I had us going 9-4. Let's see. Exhibition games don't really matter, and you playing Missouri Western. Come on now. I mean, that should be a win. And then you kick the season off against Northern Iowa. That's a win. Um, Virginia Tech, even though they lost pieces and they got a new head coach, they still going to be tough. I think they're going to be playing hard for Coach Megan Duffy. Karis Baker. I'm not going to lie that I know a lot of these players, but I know Karis pretty well. That's a win. Going to be a hard-fought win. Toledo, I think they went 28-5 last season. Toledo is very underrated. I think they'll hang our first L on us of the season. You're not guaranteed to win every game, and I think we're gonna drop this game. This is a new team getting acclimated with each other. We're not gonna look as dominant as we have in the past. So I got a second L to Toledo. I think it's always a dogfight against Drake. We playing at Drake, and I have us. I believe originally I think I had us maybe losing, but I got us beating Drake, and then we're gonna play Kansas. It's a lot of turnover going on in Kansas. Um, Unfortunately, I believe that I had a second L to Kansas. It could come down to a close game. So that's an L. Washington State, they got a lot of international talent coming in, even though they losing a great player like Sharice Ledger Walker. I got them taking the win over us. So that would make it 3 losses. Then Rhode Island, we gonna get over Rhode Island. I just don't really believe in Rhode Island. Going to be a lot of turnover on Rhode Island's team. Rhode Island is going to be going through a lot of turnover. So that's a dub. BYU, pretty mediocre squad. Our veterans might absolutely go off on BYU. That's a win. Tennessee is going to be a close game. It could go either way. It depends on the maturation process of both teams at that point. Again, Tennessee is going to look different. Iowa, of course, will be looking different, but both of these teams should kind of know what they're doing by then, definitively, I would say. And so I would give that win to us. We will squeak by Tennessee somehow. It will not be easy. Iowa State, quite frankly, with all the talent on Iowa State, here's where I'm not going to be biased, as I had talked about in the video. There's no way, even though we are playing in Iowa, there is no way that we're going to beat Iowa State. What's going on, JB? Man, I'm just doing a quick little recap here, man, talking about this Iowa women's basketball schedule, man. Just a quick live recap because I had already done a video for this. So yeah, we not beating Iowa State. I mean, they loaded. If we beat Iowa State, if we find a way to beat Iowa State at that point, December 11th, then we on to something then, folks. Because if we could beat them, they got some WNBA potential type talent on their team. I mean, we talking about Audie Crooks, Addie Brown. Emily Ryan might even sneak into the draft. So it's this a serious team, and then a rivalry is thick. That's a big rivalry contest. So if we do beat Iowa State, we on to something. That's a litmus test. If we could pass that, that would be amazing. And then the season will, not the season, but the non-conference schedule will conclude with Northern Iowa. I think that we will be able to beat Northern Iowa. Again, that's a little rivalry. What's going on, JB? What's going on with you, though? But yeah, folks, I mean, in conclusion, I ran through those 3 little questions here on this Hawk Central questions that said that what did they say? They said what did they say this was? Oh, three takeaways from the Hawkeyes 2024 non-conference schedule. So yeah, man, I just wanted to just kind of drop in a little real quick and recap that. I'm thinking about maybe going live talking about these aces, but I don't want to do. I don't want to tie this in to this same video, but I definitely want to jump on and come back and talk about these Las Vegas Aces some more. We gonna have to talk about these Aces because I don't know, man. They worrisome right now. It's Asia versus the world. It's Asia and the Pips. Um, your boy good on lunch break from work, but seeing you live, safe to say RC throwing the block pie. Yeah, man. I mean, if we knock off Iowa State, then I don't want to hear no more of the y'all nothing without Caitlin talk. If we knock them off, and we got to be having a successful non-conference schedule. We can't be going through non-conference schedule play like 4-6 or something like that, like 3-8, and then we turn around and we knock off Iowa State. No, we need to be having a successful non-conference schedule, which most would say it shouldn't be too hard. But seeing this though, this team got a lot of players that's underutilized. It's not guaranteed to be easy because with me, the only guarantees you gonna get on this team in terms of impactfulness, especially on the offensive end, because you're going to need to score some points. And we've been one of the top scoring offensive teams in the nation for a long little minute now. But the only guarantees we get on offense is Lucy Olsen, Hannah Stolke, Sydney Afota. Some people probably find this to be a joke, but in terms of being a hard worker, which I don't think that Sydney is probably going to play pro ball, but if she wanted to, she could because she got the work ethic and the hustle of like similar to like an Angel Reese. Again, the professional game is not for everybody, but the way she works so hard, I mean, just watch it if you get a chance to watch any Iowa games. I mean, the way she rebounds, she hustle, she making plays for the loose ball, she in the right spot, all the time. And then again, her energy is 10 times more than the opposition that's the person she's defending against. She's always, locked in like, damn, you need somebody to go in, scrap, get a rebound for you. Sydney is big time. So she's gonna be like that glue player, so it's awesome to have her. But in terms of being able to outscore teams, I wonder, but also maybe we might get better defensively. I hope we do. Because you can't always outscore everybody. You will not be able to outscore all your opponents. And, I think that because I got us losing the game to Toledo because, again, Toledo is like, okay, who is Toledo? But damn, 28-5, very consistent team. A team that slept on. And so I think that we lose a game like that, that's going to win. Now, I hope we don't, but we lose a game like that, then that should like kind of wake us up. And then we're going to find out instantly the young players that know how to contribute, that are able to contribute, because a lot of times the moment might be too big. We got 4 freshmen coming in. Only 2 of them. No, 3 of them. Only 3 of them. No, we got 5 freshmen coming in. But only 3 of them are guaranteed to be out there from the jump. And that's Ava Hayden, Taylor Stremblow, and Tegan Mulaney. There's a good chance that Aaliyah Guyton and Callie Levine, they might not be out there right away. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, y'all. Just wanted to talk a little bit about it, get back in the live stream thing and way of swing of things, because before last night, I hadn't done a live stream. Like, yeah, I've been doing content, but I haven't done a live stream in like almost a month. So yeah, it is what it is. Life's, things happen. We do get busy, but hey, it is what it is. If you're catching this on playback, be sure to hit that like button. And I'm gonna catch y'all on. Salute to everybody that popped through. Maddox, JB, bottom of the bottle. Yeah, so I'm going Yeah, definitely get more live streams going. Looking forward to that fantasy draft. Um, Probably do some NBA. I'm thinking about before I get up out of here, man. See, this is why you never when you got another channel. This is why you never cancel it because you never know when you gonna want to talk about it again. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna put all of my content that I want to discuss on one channel. So, case in point, say the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I'm thinking about branching off, making a page channel for the Timberwolves. But I wish though I didn't get rid of my Hawkeyes and my Buffs football channel. And I mean, it's easily to get it going again because I only had it for such a short time. But it's like people that put too much on one channel. I mean, it's so much going on. I mean, it could work, but it also might not. So yeah, I'm thinking about reactivating that channel and just having it just be Buffs and Hawkeyes football. Possibly doing the Timberwolves channel because over here, I mainly want to keep it a women's basketball. Yeah, every now and then I might put NBA content, discuss some NBA. Every now and then I might, talk about something different. But for the most part, this is like women's hoops, college, WNBA specifically. And so that's why I don't want to like overcrowd. And I'm thinking about bringing that back. It's interesting because you got to be doing things for fun, because it's a million buff channels. I don't think it's a lot of people covering Iowa Hawkeyes football, but when you tie the two in together, it's kind of unique in a sense because it's like, okay, here's somebody that's talking about the Buffs, but they also talking about the Hawkeyes. So they're talking about, the team that everybody's talking about, but then they also talking about their team. So try to be unique. And I want to say this. I had a video. I did a post video on the Las Vegas Aces and the Dallas Wings. Real quick, I'm gonna say this. And so I was talking to my girl last night on the phone, right? And was having a conversation. And I told her, I said, I deleted the video before I posted. And she said, why would you do a 9-minute video about the post game of the Las Vegas Aces? And the Wings, and then delete it. And I told her, I said, because my content sounds too similar to someone else's. And she said, well, that's cool. Everybody use or imitation, flattery, of sorts. Everybody takes something from somebody on a channel. And I say, yeah, that could be true, but not necessarily. And I just felt like the video felt too much. Some of the content felt too similar to kind of the way things would be expressed by someone else. And so I rather delete that video and I rather not upload at all just because in that instant, I don't want to sound too much like anybody else. So I aim for originality, even if it don't seem as sensational sometimes. I'd rather just be original. And so it's good to listen to what you're going to post before you post it sometimes. Sometimes you can know this video good no matter what. And other times you might want to listen to a little bit of your video. And this is for pre-recorded content, purposes. So yeah, I just thought that to myself, because the last thing I want to do is seem like somebody to come off as somebody trying to copy somebody's style. And that's not me, because you get that a lot on these YouTube streets. With different topics and different content, of course, people trying to sound like somebody else, whether they're doing it intentionally or not. And it's okay if you take bits and pieces from other people. I know I'm getting off base here, but yeah, if you take bits and pieces from other people, that's fine. But when you using somebody's wording, whether or not it's similar or not, you should be able to be like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do this. So yeah, I mean, this is like authentically me. Most of my videos is just authentically me. Zero like bells and whistles and stuff like that. Just me talking what I want to talk. So in this case, Iowa Hawkeyes. But yeah, why would I share that with you guys? Because for me, it's important to have your brand always intact, and it's important to be original because like many people in the world, just everybody's following somebody. And if somebody thinks that someone is potentially going to be successful, then they're going to jump on that, just in case if you take what's going on with, like, say, I'm not leaving names out, but it's certain content creators in, like, biblical content on here on YouTube. And it's like people follow other people because it's like, oh, snap, that works. So I think I'm going to go down that lane. And so for me, I was always here for fun, and I was always here because I just wanted a place where I could talk about my team, and I wanted to talk about my affinity and my love for Caitlin Clark, the Hawkeyes, and for the Aces, because I'm super, super amped for this. I'm always hyped to talk about my teams. Whether I sound like I'm hyped or not, I'm always excited to talk about my teams, and that's what I'm here for. So, I'm not here to see who's popping, who's trending, and I guess this is probably why I don't find myself floating on too many Caitlin Clark lovers channels, just because I feel like sometimes they go over the top, and, even when I felt like I was going over the top, I'm never going completely over the top like, some of these people tend to. And again, I'm not naming any names, so anybody come across this, don't feel no kind of way. Because if you did, then maybe that shoe was supposed to fit. Let me see what JB's talking about here before I get up out of here. I'm gonna create another channel in the future, TCG, and once I get the cards done, that channel will be focused on that, on promoting that. You should kill it. I mean, you're killing it. You should definitely get more live streams going. Yeah, but who put P. Diddy in the chat? Really? But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I'm gonna be back with some Aces content. We're gonna get that going here in a bit. But I'm gonna check y'all later. I do appreciate y'all for coming out though, for real, because this game of women's hoops, it's always been great. It's always been popping, but it wasn't always a lot of people on the train. And so salute to all the hoops content creators. Whether you're doing NBA or WNBA, salute to you, and I'm out, y'all. Peace.